Hello again YouTube, this is BalorMage and we're going to do a quick catch up on what we've been doing for the last few days. I decided that I needed a mapper because I missed mapping and I would like to farm some Eldered Alleyways because of the Exalted card drop there, which is quite nice. So we went with a Ice Shot Voidfletcher Raider, which has been quite fun and very cheap. So this can speed farm tier 16 maps very comfortably. It's surprisingly tanky for its rather mediocre life pool, and I'm going to go over the important stuff and how cheap it was. So, Voidfletcher, as long as it doesn't have Pierce on it, doesn't matter what your corruption is, just no Pierce. That's all that matters. Very cheap. I bought a 6-link Death's Harp, which is the unupgraded version of the Death's Opus, for 1.5 exalts. And then bought the Prophecy to upgrade it for 14 or 15 chaos. So that was very cheap. I brought any Hiram's Ire Zodiac Leather that I could get. The links in here are not important. It does not need to be 5-linked. The only link in here is Barrage Faster Attacks and Cast on Death Portal. This 5-link is irrelevant. There's a GMP here, but it's not needed. It doesn't do anything. I've got a Blink Arrow. I have Assassin's Mark, Curse on Hit with Herald of Ice. That's where I'm getting my power charges. I have a Skitterbot and Bone Chill. The Skitterbot has a 10% chill aura, and Bone Chill increases that effect and gives them more cold damage taken, which is a large amount of almost all of the damage we do. Almost all. We've got a Dash and a War Banner, a level 1 Precision, and a Blasphemy Temp Chains, which only exists because I've got the Solstice Vigil. Now, I'm also wearing this Fractal Thought, which is just fluff extra damage that's really not needed. But it's, if you've got it, you've got it. Now, I'm wearing the Solstice Vigil because I have 2 Inspired Learnings. But for the sake of this video, we're going to take them out, because those are 4.5x each, and each one of them is worth more than the entire build combined. So I can't really push this as a budget tier 16 farmer if I go and farm my tier 16s with Inspired Learnings in. So if I did not have those, I would drop all of these points here, and I would drop these 2 points here, and I would pick up this whole wheel for more damage and a bit extra speed, and these 2 nodes for a bit more speed. We're just after movement speed. It's already tanky enough. We're just after more movement speed, basically. So the reason why we feel incredibly tanky and decently fast for very, very little investment right now is the new tweaked Raider, which we have 10% chance to gain Onslaught on kill when you hit a rare or unique enemy, and gain Onslaught on kill for 10 seconds when you kill an enemy. This is 100% uptime in a map. That is it. You just have Onslaught, then you have 30% more chance to evade melee and projectile attacks, 30% attack damage, and 100% increased effective Onslaught. So Onslaught is now doubled and on all of the time. Then we have phasing. While ever we have Onslaught or Maximum Frenzy charges, we always have Onslaught, so we always have phasing. Then we have 10% movement speed and immune to elemental ailments, and 10% extra chance to dodge spell hits, as well as nearby enemies have exposure to everything, and nearby enemies have 15% less accuracy. So between all of our extra evasion, the base evasion and dodge that we have, which is a decent amount of evasion, and a pretty decent amount of dodge, which is in here somewhere, there it is, 60% to attacks and 50% to spells. That, plus evasion, plus all of the more multipliers that happen at the end, plus arrow dancing, means melee attacks almost never hit us, and ranged attacks really never hit us. Now, for the sake of this video, we've got the Inspired Learnings out, and I'm going to demonstrate how the build works in a just average Elder Alleyway. So tier 16 map, no Inspired Learnings, so the build is quite cheap at this stage. And we will just jump in. And first, I'm just going to quickly go over how Voidfletch works. So Voidfletch shoots a void shot whenever you fire and arrow, which is a little confusing because you'll see it has 3 there. Now I fire 3 ice shot projectiles right now because of the bow. However, it's not really when you fire arrows, because if I replace Ice Bite with GMP, you'll suddenly see 7 Ice Shot projectiles, but still only 3 Voidfletch. That is because the GMP supports the skill, whereas my character still by default only shoots 3 projectiles, not 7. It's only the skill that gets upped, which makes Dying Sun incredibly powerful, because if I pop a Dying Sun, I now shoot 5 projectiles, and there are now 5 Voidfletchers. Now, those are incredibly good for single target. My Ice Shot is more than enough to clear everything, with a 60k tooltip in my hideout, and the Voidfletch will take care of anything incredibly tanky. Now, we have Barrage, which again, I just demonstrated GMP does nothing for Voidfletch. So the Barrage is just barrage faster attacks, and it is just used to dump Voidfletch charges as quick as possible. So you dump all 5 instantly when you do Barrage. Now, they all stack on top of each other, so you can't tell that that's 3 times 5 Voidfletch, or 5 times 5 if I've got the Dying Sun up. But that is where a majority of the single target comes from. You just dump those, and boom, everything is dead in that very small area. So, let's go see how it clears a map. Now, this is without the Inspired Learnings, which I do have in normally, because the Inspired Learnings basically just speed you up. That's all they do. But they are 100% not necessary. You'll see I have no problem getting rid of rares. In fact, I'm freezing most of the rares that come out of this box. And if I don't freeze them, they die very, very quickly. Now, I've chosen Alleyways, and I think Alleyways is the best Elded map to be running on your own right now, because the Saint's Treasure div card drops relatively frequently, enough so that I seem to be getting one every 4 or 5 maps, and the price of Exalted cards is very, very high. Now, I have been doing Cassia, but I am skipping her for the sake of this video, because it'll be much quicker. Now, this is the first build in a long time that I've made that's life, that doesn't have a life potion, but to be honest, I very, very rarely ever feel like I need one. I just tend to evade almost everything, pretty much all of the time. Because, and here's the Barrage, and it's gone. And that is your tier 16 map clear. It is speedy, efficient, and very, very cheap, which was exactly what I was going for. I'm really happy with this build. It's been quite fun. It's quite nice to not play a Tornado Shot Deadeye when I want to speed clear maps. It's still a bow skill, but it definitely plays very different, and I definitely do have to rely on the Voidfletcher when I want to do like really, really good single target. So it's been really fun. Surprisingly tanky. I just can't get over how tanky it is with only 3.5k life. I have occasionally once or twice a day got one shot, usually while doing Cassia things, and the Cast on Death portal has been quite nice for those few times that that happens. But overall, very tanky, very cheap, very fast. I can absolutely recommend this. If you're after a quick and cheap high tier mapper that can do Elded maps at just very little currency investment and can just fly through them at a decent speed, this is going to be my go-to. It's been very fun. I very much enjoyed it. We will probably end up back delving in the next few days because I still want to try and get to 1,000. But for now, I'm enjoying mapping, and I'm enjoying being able to do the black content again, which doesn't exist in the mines, unfortunately. Alright, that is it. I am BalorMage. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you later.